Tate's been talking about Islam for a while now, even before he converted. I've heard him. He's the reason I even knew what the Quran is, because he was talking about it. I was like, oh, that must be like the Islamic Bible. Like, I have been so unaware about everything of the Islamic faith. Like, I didn't even know if Islam and Muslim were the same thing. Like, I had no idea. Like, this shit was so foreign to me.
It just never came up. We lived in an Italian neighborhood. We moved from the Italian neighborhood to the Irish neighborhood. They were both right next door, so that's all we did was the Italian neighborhood and the
Italian and Irish
neighborhood.
people were my life.
Yeah.
And to think like a quarter of the globe is Muslims is mind-boggling. Like, that's absolutely insane. So this is Tate praising Islam and just basically talking about it before he converted.
Islam fixes a lot of the problems that men are currently facing. The problems we're discussing on this show, Islam fixes all of them. Right? That's the first thing about Islam.
Stop for a second. What's going on his chest? Does he have a giant cat or something?
That's a cobra and a lion.
And I'm not a Muslim, right? If I had to choose a religion, I would, because I live in an Orthodox Christian country, I go to the Orthodox Christian church. I donate $20,000 a month to the church in the country I live in. The church in Romania is very powerful, and I like having church friends. So I give them a lot of money, right? So I would guess I'm an Orthodox Christian. But if I had to bet on one religion as if I were betting on the stock market for the future, you have to bet on Islam. Because Muslims are intolerant. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully. Because if you're tolerant of everything, then you stand for nothing.
Yeah. Facts.
Christians are so tolerant now. You don't believe it. They have gay pastors that I'm not even anti-gay. But if the book says don't have, like, what do you believe in now? If you're tolerant of everything, you stand for nothing. I can walk through London with a T-shirt saying Jesus is gay, and nothing will happen to me. If I did the same thing with the Islamic prophet, I'd be dead before I got to the end of the street.
Boom.
See, but that's not okay
That's how much-
either. I'm sorry. Like, you can say, like, what? How is that okay? Like, calm down. If the religion is about love, then it like, the thing with Christianity is, and the thing with Jesus, when he picked his disciples and he went out looking for them, he did not pick the holiest among the holy. He picked out this ragtag bunch of screwed up people and changed them and brought them to light. So he didn't walk around going, yeah, you're not good enough for me, you're not good enough for me. And that is why we tolerate a lot of things. It's because that is what he taught us to do.
To tolerate everything?
No, he taught us to love unconditionally, to pray for the people that hurt us, to pray for the people that are astray, to bring them in. He wanted us to be fishers of men, to go out fishing and bringing in new
So you don't see that as just like blatant disrespect though? Like if someone was walking, if you were really like super Christian and someone was walking around with like Jesus was gay and pro-choice, like you wouldn't be like, I mean, I guess that's what they teach, but I don't know. I'm trying to think. But
no, you're right. Like, yes,
like, so
as a human, would it piss me off? Maybe, right?
So you're taught to just pray for that person. So then,
pray for that person and be an example of Jesus's love and hope that they come to it.
But doesn't Islam teach peace and everything too? So that's what I'm also confused about.
That's what
like,
I'm saying.
Would it be the radicals that go and kill someone for insulting the Islamic prophet? Or like, what's the difference between the diehard Christian seeing something like that and then the diehard Muslim seeing someone walk? Like, because
I want to know how big that part of the belief is to the. You know what the thing is? I don't think there are, based on what we're learning so far, necessarily degrees of Muslims the way there are degrees of Christians. And when you say diehard Muslim, I mean, we can't talk about radicals who twist the religion and are terrorists. Like, they're a separate group who say they're Muslim, but they're really just terrorist lunatics, right?
Do they even, like, are they even Muslims really? Because I don't think you are a Muslim if you're doing, like, you're just not a Muslim. So, like, what actually are they?
Well, they think they are, the way Christians...
But, like, who knows? Like, this is all shit that we've been told. Like I would like to ask, like, an actual Muslim, like, get them... I think I'm organizing a podcast with some.
Yeah, we're going to get
But I think, like, asking
going.
them about, like, that kind of stuff and, like, what do they believe in that inclines them to go and do shit like that?
But what is this comment that Tate just made? You know, if I got to the end of the street, I'd be dead by the time I got to the end of the street.
I guess it's just because they don't.
And I know he's speaking in hyperbole, but if it's all about love includes tolerance. It does. It includes compassion, and the way to God, according to Jesus, is through him and learning that love and that compassion. And he changed people with that. He accomplished it, and he proved that it can be done. So I'm not on board, although truly Tate has spoken with more severity than anyone else we've seen.
Yeah, no, it's always he speaks in hyperbole. But if you guys would answer in the comments too, move your friggin' glass. I'm starting to understand the Islamic faith a lot more than I knew a few weeks ago. I'm not close to anywhere of knowing it fully at all, but I'm starting to learn a lot more.
Just scratching the surface, but there's a lot on the surface.
So I've seen nothing but peace and everything. So then where does the line come where you're not tolerant, but then you go and it turns to violence? Like I said, is it the radicals that do that see that and they're not tolerant, but maybe you're supposed to be loving as a Muslim? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
I see what you're saying. It's confusing. It's confusing.
But then again, is he speaking in hyperbole? Who knows? So I'll just keep watching.
And I respect people who stick up for what they believe in.
Yeah.
It's not even about me believing in it. I respect them because they believe and they will defend. Muslims are the only people who will defend their religion. They will defend their beliefs. They refuse to be mocked. They refuse to be insulted. And I respect that about them. I respect that. That's an amazing thing about them, right? And the third point is, and I've been all around the world, some of the best countries in the world today are the first world Muslim nations.
Yeah.
Qatar, you can go to Qatar, you can fall asleep with $1 million on your lap in the middle of the street. Nothing's going to happen.
I have
Saudi Arabia
seen
as well.
Go to
the
Saudi, nothing
slave
will happen.
labor in Qatar. I gotta find the documentaries and the footage I've seen of the way that they treat human beings in order to build the amazing stadiums and skyscrapers and all the things that they have that look so fucking beautiful because that's where Tate is. Yeah, don't try to sell me on Qatar.
It's so safe.
Wow.
Why is it safe?
It's
'Cause
so
people are
safe.
terrified.
Women, everyone's married. Every woman obeys her husband. Every single woman has 4, 5, 6 kids. Big families. All the things we're talking about, all the problems we have here, right? They've got none of that. None of it. Because of Islam. Islam
see, that
keeps
doesn't
society in the role.
That doesn't sound good to me.
What?
That every woman has to obey their man. She's a human being with thoughts of her own and opinions of her own and desires of her own. You know, I believe in I support the traditional structure, but listen to him.
That sounds a lot better than what goes on here.
You know, neither of them sound good. I don't want to choose that where I have to obey and have 6 kids, even if I don't want to, or the girls who are running around on Instagram and acting like whores and having abortions. Neither of those things sounds good to me. It's that they're both extremes.
Happy families sounds bad to you? Like, I just don't get
Who says they're happy? Who says these women are happy? They're obedient. That's not happy necessarily. Don't mistake the two.
I think you're crazy.
I think you're naive.
Where women obey their man, women have children, women have big families, women are exceptionally happy to do so.
Yes.
Before some
Says
Western girl
Tate.
comes in here and runs her mouth, the
here.
Islamic women are happier than any you're going to see in the club tonight.
Yes.
Very true.
Okay,
They're
I would
happy.
buy that.
Society is functioning. Their population is growing because in most Western countries, the population is declining.
Yep. Tim Cass was talking about it today. I was talking. We were
2
showed it on
people
the
have
boat.
1
Yeah.
kid. Doesn't work. Doesn't work, right? 2 people need to have 3.1 kids because people die, right? People die prematurely, blah, blah, blah,
We
blah.
do have too many people
So
on the
we
earth,
have
so right
population
now
problems
that's
in the West. If
probably
none
a
of the
good thing.
popula-
I don't know why we're complaining, and I need somebody to explain it to me in more detail. Why we're complaining about the population of the West going down? We have 8 billion people on this fucking planet. All other climate crisis people do is cry. If we just
We need Thanos.
had half the people, we might be okay. There'd be less people eating, less people driving, less people farting, less cows farting, and
Those
we'd all
cows
be better.
farting.
Yeah.
Thank God. That would save it. That would save us. Cow farts.
Problems. Society is functioning, and that's what society is. Society starts at the smallest possible group. You have families, and families make a street, and that street makes a village, and that village makes a town, that town makes a city, and that city makes a country. So if it's broken at the very fundamental level, if its family level's broken, then it's broken the whole way up.
Yep.
And that's what's happened in the West. And the first world Islamic countries have none of those problems. So if you're going to talk about a belief system that fixes issues, you need to go to Islam.
And I will say this
that will
too.
fix everything. I just have even though I wouldn't identify as Muslim, I have absolute respect for the ideology, respect for the mentality, respect for the warrior aspect of it. I respect it.
They don't play.
They don't play. You can't insult their shit. But you can insult the church all day. You can make fun of it. There's a show on Netflix about a gay Jesus. That's a joke, right? Ha, ha, ha. And what do the Christians do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Christianity is a dead religion. If you're a Christian, and I'm saying this as a Christian myself, Christianity is a dead religion which is confined to the history
what
books.
we did do
It's dying
was
out.
we stopped watching Netflix, and then all of a sudden Netflix started to suffer seriously financially. Their subscriptions were down, and all of a sudden now they're not woke anymore, and they're done with all that bullshit, and they're putting out regular programming again. So we did do something. We turned away, we turned the other cheek, we let it be, and we PureFlix came out of it.
Your own Pope. The Pope goes up there and talks LGBTQ shit.
That's
now.
crazy.
It is over.
That's
you don't
crazy.
stand for anything. You don't believe in anything. You have no boundaries. You're walked on. You're mocked. The whole thing is a joke. Being a Christian now is nothing more than advertising. You're a loser. It's a losing religion.
Okay, I'll tell
because
you
you've
this.
lost to Islam.
If he, not one person, not one comment, and we're talking thousands that we've gotten on these Islam videos
Have been negative
and shit on Christianity. Not one. So I need all you people to go to Tate and fix his head, because he's not nice. He's not being nice. Period.
He's not being a pumpkin.
He's not being a pumpkin at all. All the Muslims have been pumpkins. Every one of them. More so than Sneeko. Sneeko forgot about us.
What would you give Tate a 1 out of 10 on this?
You know, I love Tate. I'm very disappointed in how he finds the need. And I know that's the fighter in him, that he can't just win. He can't just be happy without, beating the shit out of somebody else first. It's an actual metaphor for his life. You don't have to shit on someone else in order to talk about how great it is to be Muslim. You don't have to shit on Christians. It doesn't have to be that way. And I think you need to talk to more Muslims who are really, truly understanding of how closely related these religions are, which we're learning. And I'm amazed by it, and I'm moved by it, frankly.
It's interesting that he shits on it too back then, and then he called himself a Christian and he goes to church. It's very strange.
Yeah, in the same conversation, in the same video, he's like, I'm an Orthodox Catholic, and I give $20,000 a month to the church, and fuck those people, they're fucking idiots. Like, what? What are you doing? What's the matter with you? Straighten him out. Somebody maybe we'll straighten him out. Let's go to Romania. Talk to him. You go. I'm tired. I got things to do.
I'll go. I'll
talk to
FaceTime
him.
him. I'll be like, hey, my mom thinks you're a
I know
misogynist.
this video's a year old. I'd like to see him update that conversation, and I hope it's more enlightened than that was. Yikes.
Make sure you hit the fucking subscribe button. And if you want to learn how to make money online and go viral on social media, click the Discord link in my description. I have some free sauce to give you guys. And yeah, you can learn to make money online in as little as 30 days. So, see ya.